I still got you?
Yep.
We're here.
Cool. How's it been, Lurch? Lurch is back.
Lurch is
You were one of our, first guests, sir.
The first guest?
Not the first guest. I think that was Mike
You're
Human.
one of the first.
But
Yeah,
you were among the first.
He used to be the one that we would cram in the back seat of the sibling.
Yeah, crammed into
the only guest appearances Lurch hasn't had is Who's Sitting Bitch, because I really don't think he would ever have been able to fit.
Yeah, no, there's just no leg space there.
Would have to fold him up like a pretzel to sit him in the middle.
Yeah. How you been? Sir? You gentlemen just had brunch?
Sure did. Pancakes and bacon.
Nice. Sounds more like breakfast than brunch.
I was gonna say it was
the timing.
the time of brunch for breakfast. It was fantastic.
Okay.
He texted me Friday and said, "Hey, come up for brunch." I said, "What time?" He goes, 10 o'clock. I'm not a morning person.
So you guys are up in New Hampshire?
No, we're in Methuen, Massachusetts.
Methuen, basically New Hampshire.
Basically.
Yeah, that's not good.
So Lurch, what kind of nerd are you, sir?
I would say he's a brewing nerd.
I knew. Yeah, you make beer, right?
Yeah, I do. So yesterday I made up an Oktoberfest and a witch beer.
Made yourself a little Märzen?
Yeah.
I do beer professionally. That's my vocation is beer.
Yeah, he's a beer guy.
Yeah. You like the reviews and everything?
I am a certified Cicerone for Total Wine and More. I'm also a visual merchandiser. So you walk into a Total Wine, you see all those awesome beer displays. That's me. That's what I've been up to.
Fantastic.
Not on like a national scale, but down here in Charlotte anyway.
You're famous locally, right?
What's up?
You're famous locally, he said.
Sure.
So you told me you had notes today.
I took notes. I made notes. Hold on. Let me do a thing. Let me do a thing over here on my end, and then I'll pull out my notes. The one I just added right before I called you. Have you watched Star Trek Lower Decks yet?
No.
It is the new Star Trek animated series on CBS All Access. It's about like a bunch of. What's up?
I have CBS All Access, but I haven't watched anything since Picard ended, and it fucked with my head.
Same. But then
Lower
Decks premiered last week.
I'm angry about it on a level that you couldn't quite grasp. How upset I was that Picard fucked with me that hard.
Yeah. No, Picard was really well done. But Lower Decks, it's like a fun.
You should definitely watch it.
Picard is so good.
If everyone hears a light, gentle voice from the other room here, that is Lurch's girlfriend Sarah, who will be providing echo commentary from moment to moment. No, that's fine.
So Lower Decks, it's like a animated sitcom about a bunch of ensigns who work like the shit jobs on this starship.
Is it actually Star Wars or Star Trek?
It is. Yeah, no, it's on CBS All Access. It's Star Trek
That's
branded.
Fantastic. I kind of do want to watch that.
So it's like it's firmly PG. The comedy reminds me of like a mix between like Futurama and did you ever watch Trip and the Rift?
No.
So that was like a really like over the top. It's over the top like animated sci-fi sitcom. But it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. Jerry O'Connell's in it. He plays the first officer. Yeah. All right, so I've got this one's a big one. So,
Okay.
Lurch, are you a gamer at all? Do you play video games much?
No, not really.
Not really? So this might not excite you. But so we know, like, we've seen the success of like The Witcher on Netflix. And Amazon, we know Amazon's doing Fallout series. Bunch of other like video game series coming up. Hulu's doing Hitman.
I think that's going to be really, really good.
That'll be awesome. Sony for PlayStation Vue, which is like their streaming movie and TV service. They're doing a Twisted Metal TV series.
That's going to be badass.
You're a badass car trying to blow up other cars.
Yeah.
What I'm hoping is that they make it like an arena style glass or kind of thing. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah. Just can't wait to see that fucking clown.
There was another game, another like car fighting ish game.
Carmageddon?
I want to say it was on Xbox.
Okay.
No.
Not Carmageddon.
Like they all had
that was
finishing
PC.
moves. Oh, it was some other random game, and it's gonna bother me until I fucking know it. But I played that and Twisted Metal. But
Twisted Metal, they did a remake of the first game that launched, I think, on PS3, but there hasn't been like a main series entry in a long time, which is so they'll probably be doing a game to tie in with this TV series.
That would be a game that I would probably play.
Let me see.
Way back in the day.
Car battle game, Xbox.
Here we go. It was like something arena or something like that. I don't.
Was it Wreckfest?
No.
List of vehicular combat games. Where's the list?
It's not a list.
It's an article about the concept, but there's no list here.
No, this one was like a legitimate like.
I need to find out because now.
Sports. They were in arenas. There was championship shit you could win, and like all these other things. It was cool.
Crossout, Roadkill.
No.
These are all from the early 2000s. Hold on.
Yeah, this one was.
I don't even fucking know, dude.
This was real early 2000s, like 2004, 2005, 2006.
Original Xbox, like Xbox OG.
I don't know. This might have been on 360. Maybe. It was original or 360 for sure. And I
It keeps showing me fucking Vigilante 8 and World of Tanks.
Yeah, that's not it.
No.
That's definitely not it. I'll see if I can look it up later.
Blood Drive?
No.
Okay. Moving on. So Showtime has officially announced and is in pre-production of Halo, the TV series.
Hold on a minute. My nostalgia is kicking me in the dick.
Presumably, Steven Spielberg is
Yep.
attached in some way, because Steven Spielberg is, let me tell you, fucking obsessed with Halo.
That's going to be so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, movies like that, based on video games, just need a phenomenal director, and they write themselves.
Just imagine how many people they'd be disappointing if they made it horrible.
Oh, if they fuck it up? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There's going to be a big...
good director.
Yeah.
And then we got Netflix, who's always going to outdo all the other streaming services. So we know they've got The Witcher. They're doing a Witcher spin-off animated movie. They're doing a Witcher prequel called Blood Origin. So Netflix has The Witcher on lockdown. They are also, you might have heard that they're doing Resident Evil.
Yeah.
They're also doing Devil May Cry. A cyberpunk animated series.
The cyberpunk one's going to be real good, I bet.
Yeah. And Splinter Cell.
That's going to be excellent.
Yes. You got to get the
also...
right Sam Fisher. Like, Sam Fisher has to be amazing. Because it's got such potential to be so just like the cheesiest spy show ever. But Sam Fisher is supposed to be like a badass. So they got to get that right.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to look for a badass, I think Archer covers the other side of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, like, Archer is like the cheesy spy series on purpose. So yeah, lots, just like shit tons. That's not even like everything I just named as far as video game TV shows. That's not even the whole list. That's just shit that we might care about.
Yeah, because I want them to do a Mass Effect one, but I will always want some kind of Mass Effect, either movie or show or something like that.
Yeah.
I know they're
like they're doing. What's up?
They're supposedly working on Mass Effect 4, correct?
There is at least some tiny team of programmers and developers within the company working on Mass Effect 4. There's no, like, whatever they're doing right now is working out, like, gameplay mechanics and how you would implement them. So they haven't gotten to even, like, a story part. Like, Mass Effect 4 is years away. But It is almost definitely at some point in production.
I guess that's going to have to be enough for now.
So it'll be Series X and PS5 definitely. But yeah, a Mass Effect series would be really cool. Definitely not, maybe like AMC or HBO, not like Sci-Fi or anything.
No, it would have to be like HBO because that game gets dark.
Yeah. On the subject of television, though, Comedy Central, they're owned by Viacom, who also owns MTV and Nickelodeon. And Comedy Central is trying to put together like an animated block on their network to go along with South Park. They want like Fox Sunday night style animation block in their schedule. So they are bringing back Beavis and Butthead. We're getting a new Beavis and Butthead.
Awesome.
And I want to know, like, is it Beavis and Butthead, but it's just like it's like the old Beavis and Butthead, it's like the 90s and all that? Or do Beavis and Butthead have access to, like, the internet and shit now?
I don't think we would ever see anything of content to
yeah, like is it a sequel, a continuation, or a remake, I guess, or a reboot is I guess my question. But they are also doing Ren and Stimpy.
I heard that's going to be a straight up reboot.
Yeah. So what's awesome about it, John Kricfalusi the creator of Ren and Stimpy, not involved on any level. So that's amazing. He is a roaring piece of shit. And he was fired from the original Ren and Stimpy, and then he rebooted it on Spike TV, adult party cartoon, and it was awful.
Yep.
So hopefully Billy West will be back. Billy West was the entire cast of that show. He was Ren and Stimpy. They're also doing a what's up?
Nothing. Go ahead.
No, did you have a thought about Ren and Stimpy or Beavis and Butthead? Because I was about.
I would assume that it was going to be a reboot.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll be marketing it like Ren and Stimpy was a kind of a kids show? Do you think it'll be more towards the kids, or is it going for?
So it is definitely like a show for like the people who watched Ren and Stimpy when it was on television. Not kids, but people who were kids for the original Ren and Stimpy, the ones that never should have been watching Ren and Stimpy, because it definitely wasn't for kids.
No, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
But like, I hope that they go at it from the same perspective. Like, make a show that's really not for kids, but like you're making it for Nickelodeon, where kids are definitely going to be watching it. So it has to be very subversive.
Do you think that's the intent of some of these like kids shows?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Because like they have to make it entertaining for the parents too, otherwise parents are going to find a way to not watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's one thing that you need to understand: Nickelodeon, from like when we were children, they understood that they had a very specific dual audience, and that was children and full-grown stoners.
You're not wrong.
Have you ever watched Rugrats High?
Oh my god!
Because it's a thing. It's a whole thing.
Say what?
It's like, it's a trip watching Rugrats when you're high. It's crazy.
You know what? I might have to do that later.
Smoke a few too many tobacco cigarettes.
One too many.
High on that backy.
That's the number.
Yeah.
So Comedy Central is also doing a spinoff from Daria about Jody, the black girl, like the valedictorian, like the straight A student from the original Daria. They're doing a spinoff about her, which as far as I know, is going to be about her as an adult. And okay. Hulu, do you gentlemen, here's what Hulu's up to. Do you gentlemen remember a trio of wacky siblings went by the names Yakko, Wacko, and Dot?
What?
The Warner Brothers and their sister Dot.
Yeah.
Animaniacs is coming back on Hulu.
That's phenomenal.
And I hope Steven Spielberg's involved in that too, because that was like one of his big shows.
Yeah. That's great.
That's going to be awesome. That one, I wonder if it's going to be for, like, that was a kid's show. It was like a weird kid's show, but it was definitely a kid's show. Yeah. And I wonder if they're making this for kids who don't know what the Animaniacs are and couldn't possibly care, or if they're making this for their parents who grew up watching the Animaniacs. That one, I think...
They're going to like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, like, that one you aim at the whole family. It's like the Muppets. The Muppets are for the whole family. They're not for adults. They're not for children. They're for everybody.
So these are like new ideas. Nobody's coming up with new movies or TV shows, really.
Yeah. We've got all these amazing properties. Let's try and do something interesting with them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that as long as it's like...
As long as it's good. As long as you do it for a reason, you know? Not just like, this is something from the 90s. Everybody loves things from the 90s. Let's do it, and nobody's going to watch it. Bring back Clarissa Explains It All. Pete and Pete.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, Pete and Pete was probably one of the most underrated shows that I've ever loved.
Yeah, I fucking love Pete and Pete. Cult classic, like the epitome. And Salute Your Shorts. Did you guys ever watch Salute Your Shorts?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't remember any of it.
Salute Your Shorts was like one of my favorite shows, and it's impossible to find. There is one streaming service, can't remember who, one streaming service that advertises itself as free, but there are a bunch of shows locked behind a paywall. So like they've got Salute Your Shorts, but you got to pay $10.99 a month for this streaming service where you only want to watch Salute Your Shorts.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a good deal at all.
No. But speaking of fun for the whole family, Disney Plus just premiered a new Muppet series.
Cool.
Muppets Now. It's like all the screenshots I've seen from it, they're all on like Zoom meetings. So it's the Muppets in quarantine. Talking to celebrities on the video phone. Yeah. Really, it's perfect, you know? It's like the perfect premise for a quarantine Muppet show.
True. People would definitely watch.
All right, this is my final note, and then we can talk about whatever. We've worked through almost my entire set of notes. It wasn't a bunch. It wasn't supposed to sustain the whole show. But here's my final note. Everybody loves Seth Rogen, right?
Yeah, for the most part.
So Seth Rogen is in charge of the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He's doing
No, he's not going to be a Ninja
He's
Turtle.
not gonna play a Ninja Turtle. No, he's not.
No.
He is.
I mean, he kind of looks like one.
Seth Rogen is Michelangelo. But no, he's not a Ninja Turtle. He's making the movie.
Okay.
Like he's the writer producer. I don't know if he's directing, but he's like it's his. So apparently what happened is when he used to be a writer, Seth Rogen obviously he's always been a comedy writer. But back when he was writing for television, one of his old writing partners is now an executive at Nickelodeon who owns the Ninja Turtles. And he went to him and he's just like, "Do you want to make the Ninja Turtles?" Just like out of the blue, you want to make the new Ninja Turtles? He was like, "Obviously."
Wow.
So yeah, he's doing I think it's supposed to be live action with the suits like back in the 90s.
Okay, that's going to be priceless.
But it's not like a Ninja Turtles spoof. It's not like it's just a like classic Ninja Turtles movie.
Like, I'm okay with that. The original Ninja Turtle movies were so good.
Yeah. The first two anyway.
Yeah.
Turtles in Time was kind of a stinker. Turtles in Time, or was that the game? Whatever the third one was called.
I don't remember. I think it was Turtles in Time, but Turtles in Time was actually like my favorite one, but that's okay.
So the last thing I'll say about Seth Rogen, he recently had a Marvel meeting to join the MCU. We're just working on taking all of Hollywood, and they're in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So Seth, no confirmation, but a few other people who have had meetings with Marvel recently, John Krasinski, Emily Blunt, and Zac Efron. And the rumor right now is that moving into Phase 4 with the MCU, they're going to do Secret War, which would require Doctor Doom, who is rumored to be making his first appearance in the MCU in the post-credits sequence for Black Panther 2.
Okay.
Which means if you've got Doctor Doom, that means you've got the Fantastic Four. So John Krasinski John Krasinski as Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic. Emily Blunt as Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman. Zac Efron as Johnny Storm, the Human Torch.
Makes sense.
And Seth Rogen as Ben Grimm, the Thing.
That's going to be fantastic.
Right?
Pull that off,
I can't think of a single other person right now who could be Ben Grimm. He wiped any other idea out of my mind. And John Krasinski as Reed Richards, that would be amazing.
Well, we'll give him one more crack at a Fantastic Four movie, right? Just give him one more shot.
I mean, it's Disney. It's the MCU. So the problem was that Fox owned the Fantastic Four. That was the issue for so long. Now they've got everybody but the Spider-Verse is all under Disney now.
And they'll come for that too.
I just hope they don't give the Silver Surfer his own movie. I hope he shows up, you know, like what's her face, the witch, Wanda.
Yeah,
I
Red
hope
Witch.
he's treated like her, because I always thought that fucking the Silver Surfer was always just so boring to me.
I can understand that.
But I feel like they'd introduce him if Phase 4 is Secret War, then Galactus, like, would be Phase 5. So have like the Silver Surfer show up in like the Avengers movie that kicks off Phase 5, or like at the end of the one that ends Phase 4, and then the next is just waiting for Galactus and trying to find whatever way you can to stop him before he gets here. Destroyer of worlds. But yeah, Doctor Doom is supposed to be the big bad for Phase 4.
Big bad.
Yeah, like Thanos, man.
Yeah, true. There's always another supervillain ready to be exterminated.
Always got to kill those supervillains.
Just once, think about how they feel.
So that's all my notes. We made it through my notes.
Nice job.
Good solid half hour. Right there. Half the show was notes.
Any Star Wars news?
Mandalorian season 2 is not delayed. It's still coming in October. It's ready to go.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, we're getting Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano, and what's his face? The guy who played Django and all the clones. He's coming back for Boba Fett.
I'm actually very excited to see Boba Fett.
What's up?
I'm actually very excited to see Boba Fett.
Yeah, I hope it's not like stupid.
I hope like he shows up and he's still like lightly tore up from like the tarmac.
Yeah, he's got like a mechanical limb or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like instead of having to have gloves, now he has like a rocket launcher built into his arm. Like,
yeah.
That's what I hope for.
Built-in jetpacks.
Yeah. That guy got he had to blast his way out of a gigantic sand demon.
Yeah, so you got to figure if it's so difficult to survive the Sarlacc pit, then he must have been digested just a little bit.
Yeah. Like something, like he got burnt up or something, you know?
Yeah. I was thinking like the bottom half, and he's got robotic legs now.
That could very well be a thing. Yeah.
Badass, yes. I'll agree that it would be badass. Unfortunately, they already did that with Darth Maul.
They did?
Yeah. In the Clone Wars and Rebels.
Yeah.
Darth Maul came back with mechanical legs. And the end of Solo. Spoiler alert. small spoiler at the end of Solo.
Spoiler alert, these guys. Movie's been out.
Solo 2. Solo 2. We
yet.
didn't talk about this. We texted about this, but we didn't talk about it. Solo 2 might be a Disney Plus exclusive. They might be making Solo for Disney Plus.
That's the way it's
here's the thing is that you look at what Disney looks at now.
Star Wars fans are going to go see that movie.
Yeah. So they're not going to see
people
the numbers.
Really love Star Wars want to go see that movie. Not a lot of other people are going to go, oh, whatever. It's just Han Solo. Who cares? But hardcore Star Wars fans are the only ones that are going to want to see that, and they already have Disney Plus to watch Star Wars.
Yeah. But the problem with Solo, the reason it was called a failure was because of those box office numbers. It never should have been expected to do that. To do the episode 9 or the Avengers box office numbers.
Yeah.
Rogue One was the first. Rogue One was the first, and Rogue One was the first. So of course it was gonna blow the box office out of the water. But it was also just an exceptional movie. Solo was a lot of fun. It's a great movie. It's not the same scope of a film as Rogue One.
I mean, Rogue One was so good for how seamless it just flowed into Episode 4.
I'll say, as far as the Disney era of Star Wars goes, my two favorite movies to come out of it, Solo and Force Awakens. Just on a scale of how much I enjoyed those movies. They're both a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when we went to go see it for the first time, I just had a very low expectation for the movie because I didn't want to be super disappointed if it wasn't exactly what I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
And it was everything I expected it to be and more.
Mhm. Alden Ehrenreich was so good. He wasn't trying to do a Harrison Ford impression. He wasn't up there. He was playing this character. And there was if you just watch the way he walked around and the way he smiled, that was Han Solo right there. Even if his face he really doesn't look anything like Harrison Ford. You don't expect that man to turn into Harrison Ford.
True. But you got to cast him. If you're casting a young Han Solo, they did a great job.
Yeah. It's when they cast River Phoenix as young Indiana Jones. They cast him in Last Crusade because he had already done a movie with Harrison Ford. So he learned about his mannerisms and the things that the way he moves. So instead of playing Harrison Ford, he was just doing the things with his body that Harrison Ford would as Indiana Jones. Is Harrison Ford not a lot of range? Love him. American treasure, but he does not have a lot of range as a performer.
No.
He's pretty good at compared.
He is, he's Harrison Ford in different scenarios.
Yeah. Always got that worried look on his face.
Always got that worried look on his face. But no, you're right.
Yeah. Or he looks very mad, but in an old manly sort of way.
Yeah. Get off my plane. That is forever and a day. I mean, I love Han Solo. Don't get me wrong, but I still think my favorite Harrison Ford character was President of the United States.
Yeah.
I completely forget the president's actual name in the movie, but he has some of my favorite.
Harrison Ford.
Ford has ever fucking said. So
it wasn't something cool enough to remember. That's the kind of actor that Harrison Ford is. Unless his character's name is wicked cool, he's just Harrison Ford and everything. What was his name in 6 Days, 7 Nights? Nothing. It was Harrison Ford. And he played Harrison Ford. But he's Indiana Jones, and he's Rick Deckard. from Blade Runner.
Yeah.
That is a fantastic Harrison Ford. Like, I never liked him as Jack Ryan. In all those Jack Ryan movies.
Yeah.
That he made. 3 or 4 of them.
I
liked Alec Baldwin. So I've seen like 1 or 2 of the Harrison Ford Jack Ryan movies. Can't remember which ones, but they didn't leave an impression. I liked Alec Baldwin in Hunt for Red October. That was a good movie.
I have seen Hunt for Red October.
Yeah, that's the same character.
Okay.
He's also been played by Ben Affleck, Chris Pine, and now on Amazon he's played by John Krasinski. And if you haven't watched Jack Ryan on Amazon, Lurch, this one goes to you too.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched Jack Ryan on Amazon, you need to watch Jack Ryan on Amazon. Because it's good.
When he demands something of me, it makes me be like...
John Krasinski is a treasure. He is a fucking treasure. We very recently watched the entirety of The Office. And now they're getting ready to take it off Netflix, so we did it at just the right time.
I never much cared for The Office.
Yeah, I liked it. The first season was a little iffy, but you could see the bones. And then moving forward, so when they started and Michael was like a douche instead of just like a goof, like David Brent, the character from the original Office, he was a douchebag. That was his character. But nobody bought Steve Carell in that as a douche. Mm-hmm. So moving forward from season 2 on, Michael Scott was a lovable goofball. He was a clown.
Yeah,
Steve Carell's not a douche.
He's more very cringy. He is so mean.
I don't know. I just never really cared for The Office. It's not my thing.
No, I can get that.
Shameless is so great. I'm like, I don't fucking see that at all.
Wait, what?
Shameless. I'm not a fan of that either.
Yeah, I never got into that one. Melissa's a fan, but I'm not big into that. Like, I like William H. Macy, but something about that show, I just don't get into it.
Have you watched Letterkenny yet?
I haven't. It's just like something about it makes me feel like I'm not going to like that show. Maybe I'll watch an episode when we're done with this.
Probably should.
Give it a try, man. Give it a try.
Okay.
I think it's right up your alley.
I will watch Letterkenny.
Your brother, well, your brother didn't like it at all. He's the only
right.
person
Yeah, no, that's why my brother didn't like it. Me and Will, we have very similar like interests in entertainment. So it tends to be if he doesn't like something, I'm probably not going to like it. When it comes to video games, every once in a while he'll text me because I don't play flight sims and I don't play racing games. Mm-hmm. But I play a little bit of just about every other genre. I play first-person shooters and RPGs and all sorts of stuff. So he'll text me every once in a while about a video game. And sometimes if I've played it and I liked it a lot, I'll text him and tell him how like good it was, but then finish with, I don't think you'd like this one. Like, it's an amazing game, but you'd feel like you're wasting your money. Mm. Like, given your specific interests. He got the Fast and Furious game. That just came out Friday. Game? Just came out Friday. It features the performance and likeness of Vin Diesel and Michelle Rodriguez. He says that it's got like a really great story as far as the Fast and the Furious goes. The game itself, garbage. Huh. The controls are ridiculous. It's just like you can't pause during cutscenes. It's like I respect that Vin Diesel loves video games so much, but he needs to learn that he's really not very good at making them. Like Vin Diesel doesn't make good games.
Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah, but the trailers I saw, they all looked like it could be fun. Probably play it at BJ's at some point.
Maybe you just need to drive like you're in the Fast and the Furious. You shift through your 12 gears and.
Yeah, that's like some Gran Turismo shit. I don't think I'd get into that. If you have to like actually do anything besides hit the gas and hit the brake.
No.
That seems ridiculous.
You telling me I need to stop for gas?
I don't think it's a fight. A fight, I tell you.
Gran Turismo, you have to like make pit stops, right, to change your tires and fuel up and shit.
I mean,
Yeah.
If you're running like a dumb long race for absolutely no reason, yeah.
Yeah,
but,
like the kind of shit that I used to watch Daniel do. Daniel fucking loves Gran Turismo.
Like the NASCAR that they were doing.
Yeah, you could do full simulation races on those NASCAR games.
Yeah.
Where you could drive 500 miles.
Oh.
Yeah. They televised it.
I heard about this shit. This e-racing stuff? Yeah.
Esports, yeah, it's huge.
No, Michael, they have chairs and they have screens and they have a whole separate computer programmed with movement and all these other things. This is a true racing esport that just popped up out of nowhere and had 5 or 6 races or something like that?
Yeah.
But they were nationally televised races.
Is that like now? Like,
but now it's like random people are doing it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It started as professional race car drivers, and now it's just a bunch of people. Because you practice enough at anything, you can get kind of good at it. Then you're not encumbering the car any. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
So you can take a bunch of risks and really figure out what the hell you can do with it.
I think the rule is you can only crash twice in a race. So.
Can you adjust the sensitivity of brakes and stuff? So could you get in there?
I know. I bet they have to have. I think it's all some kind of It was probably all some kind of standardized programming.
But let me pitch you this concept. You say that NASCAR racers were doing this?
Yeah.
Say, could they take their cars' precise specifications that they had tailored to their driving style and program that into this video game?
I don't know.
So it's they're driving their actual car?
Probably, actually. I don't know if they would do that, but because the whole point to NASCAR, there's a whole bunch of certain standards that have to be met by every car.
Yeah.
And it really does boil down to skill, or is your gas mixture a little bit leaner than someone else's, or do you have a different kind of setting, but they all have to be within a certain set of parameters. Yeah. In that, you have your ability to make your car however you want. So in those specs, yes, they probably do that.
And I bet these professionals, they know how to do that to the best possible way, get as much as they possibly can out of their car.
In the physical reality of it, yes. But in a video game, there's always some kind of weird exploitation that you could make.
Yeah.
I don't know, you brake a little bit later and you bump somebody, or you bump somebody a little bit and you make it around the turn a little bit faster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously not deliberately cheating, but doing things in a video game that you would do in a video game.
Yeah, that's why there's a difference between esports and sports. Because
generally one is not real.
The way that if you're playing esports, what you're doing instead of actually physically playing this game is you've figured out how to play it the right way, and now you also know how to bend the right way to do it. You're taking advantage of the code, and that's where you're finding your advantage as a competitor. Because otherwise it's just a bunch of people who are good at playing this game exactly the way it's supposed to be played against a bunch of other people who are equally the same level of good. And that's boring. Like there's got to be like different levels.
That makes more sense than it sounds like it does.
Right? Sorry, I'm rambling a little.
That makes way more sense than what it should be. Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, there's always some kind of small hidden edge that if you practice enough at something, you will find it.
Yeah. Like ESPN and esports. What am I saying? Esports are becoming like a legitimate thing. I think ESPN either broadcasts them or they're getting ready to like start an esports network along with all their other networks. Do like documentaries about like Gamergate and shit.
True. That's very true. That would be real weird.
Right? But eventually it'll be normal.
You're a Hall of Famer of not playing a sport, but you're in the Hall of Fame of playing sports.
Yeah. You remember G4?
Yep.
The video game network? You're like,
yep.
That didn't seem like a thing that was supposed to exist. And like the general television viewing public agreed that was not a thing that should exist. That's why it doesn't anymore. They've got a YouTube channel now, which is like, they got started before YouTube was really huge. But like, that's where G4 has always belonged, is on YouTube.
That's the perfect platform for it.
Yeah. But I loved G4, especially E3 time.
Yeah, they always have the scoop on all the good shit.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they did a bit on that fucking mech game with the obnoxious controller. That means now we have to find it and watch it.
They probably, no, they 100% definitely did, because that's the only reason I ever knew it existed. Like, I saw it on G4. Like, they brought it out on G4. I think they had built, like, a big thing, like a big stage piece for it. And that's why I thought it was, like, so much more intense. It's intense, that controller. Not to harp on this fucking controller, but, like, that was an intense controller, but not nearly as intense as I remember.
Lurch has never seen...
You've never seen the controller from Steel Battalion on the Xbox?
Bro, this thing's serious.
The serious controller. Serious controller for serious gamers.
It's a mech sim. It's got pedals. We don't know what the fucking pedals are
for different flight simulators, yeah. They actually use them for trying to keep little flat planes.
Yeah. Yeah, people go ham on shit like this. Like,
yeah.
But this is just for like a console video game, man. Like, not even a popular one.
Imagine going to like an esports competition and that's the controller you have. Like, I just prefer to play with my Steel Battalion controller.
I get more control out of it, I swear.
You're playing fucking Smash Brothers. You have rigged your Steel Battalion controller to work with a Nintendo console.
That's crazy. It's stupid. The thing is,
it's like the dude who finished Dark Souls with a Guitar Hero controller.
Jeez.
I was watching one video. This guy.
How does that work?
Some people's brains work better than ours. Maybe not better. Definitely a whole lot different. Some people's brains work just a whole lot different than ours.
Yeah.
I watched this guy play Dark Souls with the controller backwards. Like, he was using his, index finger and middle finger to control the face buttons and the joysticks, and his thumbs to control the shoulders.
Seriously?
he had not inverted the controls. Like, what was supposed to be the right thumbstick was under his left middle finger. So on top of not being able to see the front of the controller, which is like a thing that until I saw this, I was like, oh, wait, no, I don't really need to see the front of the controller, but I definitely needed to know that everything's where it belongs. But it's like everything's reversed. And I can't play Dark Souls to begin with.
Well, I can't do it regularly, let alone.
Yeah. I'm not that good. I'm not a good gamer. I like to play video games. I don't like to be punished by them. I want to have fun when I play a game.
I want to at least at one point in a video game feel an overwhelming rage and need to spike my controller off of the floor.
But as adults, we have learned to stop doing that because controllers are expensive.
Yeah. You go to start throwing it at the ground and you go, that's expensive.
Yeah. I've got a backup controller, but we can only really use it for like Netflix and shit because most of the face buttons don't work or don't work often enough. It's busted. But I did customize it. I took off its case and and it's a nice matte white on the front and a shiny gold on the back.
So it looks pretty, but it's broken.
Yeah. It's nice. It fits the decor in the room. And I can only use it for like streaming services.
No, well, I guess if you're gonna dress up something, as long as there's no risk of completely breaking it, you do it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was already fucked up. It's actually, since I took it apart, I could clean it out on the inside and it works. Like the buttons that do work, they work the way they're supposed to. They used to stick and shit. The whole thing used to be sticky.
So what, did you just boil out certain buttons on a controller?
I don't know. Something got spilled on it at some point. Maybe beer, maybe Red Bull, maybe coffee, who knows. But I opened it up, I cleaned out all the crap, and now it works as like a backup. Were I to break my good controller. I think you could probably get them at a decent price used by now.
Oh, I'm sure you can.
Yeah.
Especially like a wired one? Sure.
And I've got this 8-bit dough. Do you know what that is?
Is that little cube thing?
No. 8-bit dough, they make Bluetooth controllers. So I've got this Bluetooth controller, and it's really cool because this design doesn't exist anymore. They had to take it down for legal reasons. But mine looks exactly like a Super Nintendo controller. Like the color scheme and everything. There is no wire. It's got 4 shoulder buttons instead of 2 and 2 joysticks. 2 thumb pads.
Nice.
And 6. And like it doesn't have the full like PlayStation functionality. Actually, I might be able to program that into some of these buttons. I use it for my Switch and I use it when I'm playing games on my phone.
Okay.
So PlayStation has remote play. Like I'm pretty sure Xbox has it too. We just got it on PlayStation, but PlayStation has remote play, so you can like connect to your PlayStation on your phone and play games on your PlayStation. So I've got this clip of the thing, and my phone sits into the clip, and I can play PlayStation games on my phone if I don't want to get out of bed to go sit in front of the PlayStation.
That's the life right there.
Yeah.
That's how it's all going to be someday.
There's rumor that remote play might be coming to Switch, and that would be fucking perfect.
We've lost Mike forever.
Yeah.
Now that
I got a PlayStation. I got a Switch. I can just lay here on my Switch and play my PlayStation. Everything's just wired through one console.
Very soon, I think.
Because that's like Nintendo's out here not trying to antagonize anybody. Like Nintendo's doing their own thing. They're not a competitor to Sony or Microsoft, so they can get along with both of them.
True. They walk the middle ground.
It's
guys,
like
you can have some of the most professional games out there, but I want the other one.
Like Sony and Microsoft, they make things that are like revolutionary in their function. Mm-hmm. But Nintendo makes stuff that's like fun and cool. Like their consoles get a little better functionally every time, but like they always have something going that's like, this is way cooler than what they're doing.
Well, I mean, the Switch was such an amazing console.
It is. It's a real marvel.
But it's a truly portable gaming station that will last you all day, and you can play really awesome games on it. And it's not going to burn out on you in like an hour. They've already
got a deal with Microsoft. They have a bunch of games that used to be Xbox exclusive on Switch. Cuphead is that on Switch? There's rumor of Halo getting a release on Switch, like the original Halo games.
I was just going to say that would be something worth buying a Switch for. Mass Effect probably will too.
Maybe. BioShock. They've got the BioShock trilogy.
They've got BioShock, and they're going to get...
They've got fucking... what is it? What's that game that you love so much?
What?
What's the game called?
What game?
It's like a post-apocalyptic like shooter. Borderlands.
Borderlands.
The Handsome Jack collection is on Switch.
Oh. Borderlands 2 was a great game, but that random Australian release of Borderlands was absolute garbage. Probably just because I didn't understand half of what the game was saying to me. Like, there's a whole bunch of Australian slang in it, and it's just like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, I have to pause the game, look it up. It's very tiresome, and I can't just switch it to English because fuck everybody. And I don't know. I don't get it. I did not enjoy the game.
Okay.
However, Borderlands 2, and Borderlands 3 are phenomenal.
Borderlands 3 is the most recent?
Yep.
You've played that?
I have not finished it yet, but yes, I have played it.
It's good?
It's good. I enjoyed it.
I was thinking about it. I don't know. I tried the first two, and I wasn't a fan. That's just not my kind of game.
Well, then you're not going to like the third one. Same with that kind of game.
Maybe they'll put it up on PlayStation Now. They do sometimes. So PlayStation Now, they've got this huge library of games that are always available. And then every month they put up a new batch of games that'll only be available for like the next few months. But they're like the big, like huge releases. Like Uncharted 4 was up. Marvel's Spider-Man. God of War at one point.
Those are all good games.
Yeah. PlayStation Now is pretty cool. Like that and like what the Xbox equivalent, they've got a ways to go before it's a viable option for just the way you play games. Like Stadia, they're trying something that's not really going to work out, I don't think. But they're like they show promise. I rarely have crashes. I have my PlayStation like hardwired in though to the internet.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you're gonna play games online, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. Do you especially if you're streaming video games. Do you have? Is it Game Pass on Xbox?
Yeah.
Do you have that?
There's a thing called Game Pass. I don't pay for it.
Okay. Yeah. So I found myself using PlayStation Now enough that it makes sense for me to pay for it. Like, it's a great service. It's like I buy new games very rarely. And if I start playing a game and get like a bunch of hours in and then I never play it again, I don't have to like feel disappointed about spending the money on that game.
True.
Yeah.
No buyer's remorse.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really like every games, but there are some games out there that I miss playing, so.
Yeah, no, like these days, it used to be I just get the physical copy because I wanted to be able to trade it in.
Mm-hmm.
But these days, if I'm going to buy a physical copy of a game, it better be a really good game. It's like I like to have a physical copy of a thing that I like. You get what I mean?
That makes sense. Yep. Nope. That makes sense.
Yeah. Especially now, like the GameStop that was easy to get to is closed. It's they closed it. It's just not a thing anymore. The other GameStop on the other side of town is a pain in the ass to get to. So I can't buy or trade video games right now.
It's a pain in the ass to get to.
It's a pain in the ass. I know that it is the better GameStop. It's cleaner and it's larger and it's newer. But the other GameStop was so much closer. They rarely had the game I was looking for. But like they were close.
I think I know why they closed, but okay.
Most of the games I buy digitally, there's digital sales constantly though. You can get a lot of good stuff for pretty cheap. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Nothing.
Okay.
No, I completely forgot. I do think that this has been a solid episode here.
It has. 1 hour and 3 minutes.
Yep. Big
right.
shout out to Lurch for joining us today.
Yeah. Friend of the fatness.
Indeed.
All right, boys.
I will talk to you later.
See you later, brother. It was nice to talk to you, Lurch.
Good talking to you. Been a long time.
What?
It's been a long time since the last talked to you.
Yes. All right. I'll talk to you guys later.
Later.
Bye.